In a quiet village where narrow paths curved between mud houses and open fields, there lived a simple boy named Rohit. He was not known for sharp answers or loud confidence. Most villagers saw him as gentle and ordinary, easy to overlook. But inside Rohit's mind, there was constant noise, a restless weight that followed him through every day. Each morning, the village woke slowly. The sun rose softly above the trees, birds gathered on electric wires, and women swept courtyards with steady hands. Rohit watched all this from the doorway of his home, yet his thoughts were already heavy. His father had died when Rohit was very young, leaving behind silence and responsibility. His mother worked long hours in other people's fields, returning home tired, her face carrying both strength and quiet sadness. Rohit loved her deeply, but he also felt like a burden he could never repay. At school, Rohit sat near the back, close to the window. He often stared outside, not because he was careless, but because his mind was crowded. Whenever a teacher asked a question, his heart tightened. A voice inside him whispered that he would fail. When he made mistakes, that voice grew louder. Slowly, Rohit began to believe it. The village children ran, laughed, and fought without fear. Rohit walked alone more often than not. He thought something inside him was broken. Even when he studied, doubt followed him. Before exams, he imagined failure. After results, he avoided eye contact. Life felt like something happening to others, not him. One late afternoon, after another difficult day, Rohit wandered toward the old school building at the edge of the village. Beneath a large neem tree sat an elderly man known as Shankar Sir, a retired teacher who had taught generations of children. His posture was calm, his eyes patient, as if he had learned how to wait for people's truths. Shankar Sir noticed Rohit standing nearby and gently called him over. They sat together in silence for a while, listening to the leaves move with the wind. Finally, the old man spoke softly, asking why Rohit's eyes looked tired, even before life had asked much of him. Rohit hesitated, then slowly shared everything: his fear of failure, the voice inside his head that never encouraged him, the belief that he was not meant for more. Shankar Sir listened without interruption. When Rohit finished, the teacher picked up a small stick from the ground and drew a line in the dust. The teacher said that the mind becomes what you repeat to it, and that Rohit had been teaching his mind to feel weak. Those words stayed with Rohit. Shankar Sir gave him one simple practice. Every morning, before the world spoke to him, Rohit had to speak one kind sentence to himself. Nothing grand, only something true. Rohit did not feel change immediately. The next morning, the same doubts returned, but he remembered the teacher's words. He whispered quietly that he would try today. It felt small and almost meaningless, yet it was honest. Days passed. Rohit continued this habit. When he failed, he did not insult himself. When he felt afraid, he reminded himself that fear was not a command. Slowly, his breathing felt lighter. The storm inside his mind began to lose its strength. At school, Rohit started paying attention. His answers were not always right, but he no longer froze. Teachers noticed his effort. At home, he helped his mother more confidently. She noticed the change in his eyes, a calm steadiness replacing the old heaviness. The journey was not smooth. Some days, old thoughts returned, reminding him of past mistakes. But now, Rohit knew how to respond. He learned that thoughts were visitors, not rulers. He learned patience. Months later, Rohit sat again under the neem tree. Shankar Sir listened as Rohit spoke, this time with a quiet strength. Rohit said that he still felt fear sometimes, but he no longer let it decide who he was. The old teacher smiled and said that positive thinking is not about ignoring pain. It is about choosing hope while walking through it. Years passed. Rohit grew into a young man known for his calm nature. He was not famous, but he was trusted. He supported his mother, guided younger children, and faced life with steady courage. The village saw him not as weak, but as reliable and strong in a silent way. One evening, as the sun sank behind the fields, Rohit sat alone and reflected. He realized that mastering positive thinking had not changed the world around him. It had changed the world within him, and that change had shaped everything else. The lesson from Rohit's life is simple and true. The way you speak to your mind becomes the way you live your life. Be gentle with your thoughts. Guide them with patience. In time, they will guide you forward. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to speak kindly to yourself today. For more calm and meaningful stories that guide the soul, subscribe to this channel and continue this journey with us.